Hello everyone, welcome to the course on solutions. In previous lecture, we studied about the factors which affects the solubility of gas in liquids. Okay, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the vapor pressure of liquid solutions. Before going to the vapor pressure of liquid solutions, first we must know what is vapor pressure. The vapor pressure is the pressure exerted by the vapors above the liquid surface in equilibrium with the liquid at a given temperature is called vapor pressure. Means when we consider the liquid which consists of certain components, okay, upon heating it will produces the vapors, okay, and those vapors will starts to exert the pressure on the surface of the liquid. Okay, initially it is a closed vessel and upon heating it will produces the vapors. Okay, initially the vapors are produced in less quantity. As the temperature increases, more and more vapors gets produced, and those vapors can't escape from this closed vessel, and as a result of that those vapors will starts to exert the pressure on the surface of this liquid, and that pressure exerted by the vapors above the liquid surface in equilibrium with the liquid at a given temperature is called vapor pressure. Here in equilibrium means during evaporation the rate of evaporation is equal to the rate of condensation. Means as many as vapors produced, the same amount of vapors gets condensed and gets converted into liquid. Means rate of evaporation is equal to rate of condensation. At that condition it is said to be in equilibrium, and when equilibrium is reached, what is the pressure exerted by these vapors produced is considered as vapor pressure. Okay, so here vapor pressure can be studied of liquid solutions, for liquid solutions, and the first type of vapor pressure produced in a solutions is liquid solutions. So if we consider the liquid solutions, how the vapor pressure is produced and on what factor it is dependent, that can be studied. So for example, consider a binary solution of two volatile liquids. Okay, volatile means they can be easily undergo evaporation. So such kind of liquids are said to be volatile liquids, and we have taken the two volatile liquids. So since two volatile liquids are taken, it is considered as a binary solution. Now here in this binary solution, the P1 is considered as the partial vapor pressure of component 1, and P2 is partial vapor pressure of component 2, and the X1 is mole fraction of component 1 and X2 is mole fraction of component 2. So this is the symbolic representation of component 1 and component 2 and their mole fraction and their partial vapor pressure. Now how we can relate this partial vapor pressure of both the components with their mole fractions, whether they are directly proportional or inversely proportional or they are equal, how it can be related? That quantitative relationship between the partial vapor pressure and mole fraction of liquid solutions is given by a law known as Raoult's law. According to Raoult's law, it states that for a solution of volatile liquids, the partial vapor pressure of each component of the solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction present in a solution. It means the volatile liquids, when we consider volatile liquids, the partial vapor pressure that is produced above the surface of the liquid is directly proportional to the mole fraction present in a solution. Means if the mole fraction of the component, any component, increases, its partial vapor pressure will also increases. Means higher the mole fraction, higher will be the partial vapor pressure. And that can be related as for component 1, P1 is directly proportional to X1. Partial vapor pressure of component 1 is directly proportional to mole fraction of component 1. And it implies P1 is equal to P1 naught into X1. Removing the proportionality sign, we will take a constant, that is P1 naught. Okay, so this P1 naught is a constant and it indicates the vapor pressure of the pure component 1. In a similar manner, for component 2, P2 is directly proportional to X2. That implies P2 is equal to P2 naught into X2. So P2 naught is the vapor pressure of the pure component 2. This is the mathematical expression for the Raoult's law containing the two volatile liquids. Okay, so now if we want to find the total pressure of the binary solution, as from Raoult's law we come to know that the partial vapor pressure of a given component is directly proportional to its mole fraction in the solution. Now if I want to find the overall partial vapor pressure exerted by both the components 1 and 2 on the surface of the liquid, then how to find that total partial vapor pressure? Here, to determine the total partial vapor pressure, we will consider a law that is known as Dalton's law of partial pressures. According to Dalton's law of partial pressures, the total vapor pressure is equal to the sum of partial vapor pressures of each component. Okay, so here we will simply consider the partial vapor pressures of each component which is present in the given solution, and we will add those partial vapor pressures and get the total vapor pressure. So now by using Dalton's law, we have the P total, that is partial vapor pressure, total partial vapor pressure is equal to partial vapor pressure of component 1, partial pressure of component 2. So P1 plus P2, since there are only two components, we have to consider P1 plus P2. Now substituting the values of P1 and P2, we get P total is equal to, as we know that according to Raoult's law, P1 is equal to P1 naught into X1 and P2 is equal to P2 naught into X2, that we already determined from Raoult's law. So substituting the values of P1, that is P1 naught into X1 and P2 naught into X2, simplifying this, we will get 1 minus X2 into P1 naught. Here see, instead of writing X1, I have written 1 minus X2 because here 1 minus X2, it came from the relation that mole fraction of two components, that is X1 plus X2, is equal to 1. It is always 1. The sum of mole fractions of two components is always equal to 1. So here what would be the value of X1 then? X1 is equal to, here I will rearrange this equation. What I will get? 1 minus X2. So here by rearranging the equation, we will get the value of x1 as 1 minus x2. So here that value I have substituted in this case. So x1 plus x2 is equal to 1, x1 is equal to 1 minus x2. So simply instead of x1 I have substituted 1 minus x2 into p1 naught plus x2 into p2 naught as it is. So now what is the common thing here? Just simplify all these things. P1 naught into 1, P1 naught minus P1 naught into x2 plus x2 into P2 naught. Taking the x2 as a common, we will get P total is equal to P1 naught plus P2 naught minus P1 naught into x2. This is how, by relating or by taking the mole fraction of any one component, we can determine the total partial vapor pressure. The total vapor pressure of the given binary solution. Okay. So here we can take, here I have taken x1 value I have substituted. Okay. You can also simplify by substituting the value of x2. Then you will get x1 here. Okay. So by considering the mole fraction of any one of the component, we can find the total vapor pressure of the solution. And this can be graphically represented as vapor pressure along y-axis and mole fraction along x-axis. When we plot the graph of vapor pressure and mole fraction, you will observe the P1 naught as we decrease the mole fraction of component 1 and increase the mole fraction of component 2, the total vapor pressure will go on increases. Okay. So the vapor pressure of P1 will go on decreases and vapor pressure of P2 will go on increases. Okay. So if we consider the total vapor pressure, then with the increase in mole fraction, the vapor pressure will also go on increases. This is how we can graphically represent the vapor pressure and mole fraction for a given binary solution. So this is all about the vapor pressure of liquid solutions that can be explained with the help of Raoult's law. I hope you cleared about this. Thank you.